With the first season of Diablo 4, corruption is spreading. From what we know so far. Listen, we've had some teasers from the official Diablo Twitter and some of the devs already working on the thing about what could the new season come. Obviously, we don't have all the information because the live stream is going to be later on today, depending on when you watch this video, revealing, hopefully, and ideally probably, everything that there is to know about the first season of Diablo 4. But the juice is so nice right now that we cannot help but speculate and see exactly what's going on. We will cover the live stream and, give you everything that's been announced. So you can rest assured, you can follow and link, subscribe and all that stuff for the channel, and we'll give you all the information once we know. But so far, let's talk a little bit about the corruption and what it means to play in the first season. Earlier today, a couple of hours ago, the official Diablo Twitter has posted a little teaser of 8 glorious seconds saying that corruption is taking hold. See what new evil threatens Sanctuary during tomorrow's developer live stream at 11 AM PT Pacific time. Now, obviously, this is a promo to get people to get into the live stream. Of course, they're not going to reveal everything, but that's fine. It is cool to speculate because we only have like a little bit of time before they actually reveal it to figure out exactly what this is all about. Just to clarify a little bit, Riker also jokingly tweeted, oh my, corruptions, you say? Sounds like an infection is spreading. A zombie outbreak? With, of course, Joseph Piora. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Let's call him Joseph. Memingly retweeted with, a zombies meme. Now, this could all be just a little bit of a stretch. Sure, they could just be playing into the meme, that's fine. But what is interesting is that so far in the theme of Diablo 4, especially if you look at the Necromancer, corruption is a style of shadow magic. It's in the realm of the shadow magic, obviously, if they're gonna keep with the theme. And fun enough or not, the majority of Necromancer's summoning abilities are shadow themed or shadow focused or take advantage of shadow magic in any way, shadow or slash darkness. So if we're actually going to take Riker's tweet seriously, which might be more on the spot than we might have thought, it could be something related to undead and zombies. Obviously, in the world of Diablo, we have demons, we have beasts, we have undead as well. We have all sorts of type of monsters that we fight, but obviously undead is one of them. So it could be an undead themed season. And what could this mean? Well, if we're gonna, spread it even further, the actual cinematic or, 8 seconds of teaser shows, a dark cloud spreading over the continent. That could, the first thing that essentially comes to my mind is that this is akin to Helltides, where some of the zones, unless all of them are active at that time, will be under this corruption event. It either affects the entire world or its zones at a time. Considering that we're still probably going to have Helltides and the PvP events and all of that, I would be surprised to know if this corruption is like all over the place, although it could affect Helltides at the same time. So who knows? But obviously we're probably going to be fighting a lot more undead. And if we're going to get a lot of new items, new uniques, they're likely going to be focused around bones and undead and corruption spreading and all of that. Maybe shadow damage focused. I don't know. Not all classes can do shadow damage, so I'd be surprised if that's exactly what's going to happen. We know that Necromancers does that and Rogues do that as well, but we'll see how this essentially plays out later on. We also know that, a little bit of a side note, that Rod Ferguson is also going to be there. He essentially tweeted, obviously there's this whole meme going around of Rod Ferguson being or not being there, but the fact that he is getting there kind of puts a little bit more weight into the live stream, which is going to be later today. And maybe we can have a bigger reveal, bigger events, more things to be announced. This is all really exciting stuff. I cannot wait for that live stream to see exactly what's going to happen. So don't miss the developer live stream on twitch.tv/Diablo. We're definitely going to be there. Also, another Season 1 tease is a little screenshot that you can find right now on the internet. Icy Veins also has an article on it with what it looks like to be the season objectives. Now, obviously, this is different from the season blessings, and we already knew that it was like a top secret content. Obviously, it's still seemingly top secret right now, but we do have a better idea of what the objectives will be, where we have something like, Den of Evil really shines out of all of them, where you can get a complete any dungeon type events, type reward, and you probably complete all sorts of these little objectives, which definitely reminds me of the Diablo 3 seasonal journey, because we also have If you look on this screenshot right on the left-hand side, you have the complete 7 out of 9 objectives to earn the rewards to unlock the next chapter. Chapter being the key word because this is definitely how the Diablo 3 seasons have been structured. Now, Diablo 3 seasons in terms of the seasonal journey were pretty cool. I like doing the stuff. They became a little bit mundane, they became a little bit repetitive, and some of the objectives were a little bit too niche. To be fair, Diablo 4 is just way more fun. So if they take the good parts of the Diablo 3 seasonal structure with the chapters and the objectives and all that, I think this could turn into some interesting gameplay, because obviously a lot of people might still be debating if they are going to be playing the season. And also, unless this changes further on once the season releases, we know that we have about 7 total chapters, as opposed to Diablo 3, which I think it had a lot more. And if we have like around 9 objectives on each chapter, there's plenty of stuff to keep us engaged, and this is going to be really cool. One thing that could be a slight concern, although maybe less of a concern so far, is the fact that the new patch that came out about a week or 2 ago introduced a lot of login issues, a lot of lag issues and all of that stuff, which the devs have been working hard to get fixed, and that's really good to know. Hopefully the Season 1 doesn't add that stuff. But on a more brighter note, Joe Shelley tweeted just the other day that they're engineering a target lock for Diablo 4 controller players, because a lot of people are playing with the controller even on the PC, so that they can automatically select a nearby target when your locked target dies if you are not facing in that direction. To take advantage of this new thing, you'll hold down the left stick in the direction you want to move while tapping your attacks to stutter step. Potentially this is to address the differences in controlling console characters as opposed to mouse and keyboard characters, further bridging the gap between console players and PC players, since it has always been a little bit of a discussion whether or not Diablo should be on the console, although this has been years and debated, and I think it's fine. I personally love Diablo on the console. I think it's a fun experience to play, and making the cross-platform more seamless with more quality of life addressed to them is really reassuring, considering that the first season isn't even out. The fact that the devs are constantly working on this is very reassuring for the future. And seeing as how the new season will add a new event and probably other in-game activities to do, for those of you who didn't know, there is an easy way to do our current activities, Helltides, World Bosses, Legion events, and all of that if you track them properly. There's plenty of websites that do this. Icy Veins, for instance, has Helltides timer, but probably the best one, unless you already knew about it, the best one to use is helltides.com, where you can actually go and keep track of everything that's going to be happening, especially if you want to level. It will show you the next world boss and when it's going to spawn, the next Helltides, the zone, the Legion as well. What's even more important is that during the Helltide, when they're active, after a couple of minutes, you will have an updated interactive map that will also show you the location of the mystery chests. I know, it's a little bit annoying to have to use third-party applications, but until these are implemented in a game in a more seamless manner rather, you're probably going to have a lot of success by using websites such as helltides.com to make your Helltides, let's say, smoother, right? At this point, at the very least, and I'm sure there's a lot of people in the same situation, I don't really care about Helltides outside of the mystery chests as well. Sure, there's obviously good gear that I can still get, but I'd rather just be spamming nightmare dungeons instead of farming weapons chests or legs chests or anything like that. And if your goal is to just go with the mystery chest, using the interactive map is one way to do it, because it will give you the locations of the chests. It will also show you the events as well, which is probably one of the best ways to farm Helltides. And not to mention that coming with the Season 1, you're going to be having so many things to do that optimizing these grinds, these endgame content, if they're going to be still relevant, and I would imagine they would still be, is going to be crucial to make your leveling a lot faster. On top of this, it doesn't seem like the bag situation is going to be resolved anytime soon. And if you have been playing Diablo games in the past, Diablo 3 and 2 to be precise, you might already be aware of this upcoming issue, and if you haven't, you might want to take note. Your bags during a season will be filled way more. Seasons are usually structured around grinding, efficient grinding, non-stop grinding. I mean, that's the pleasure, the fun parts of Diablo, and your bags will be filled with legendaries and aspects. Not to mention all the other materials that are still not going to be making it into the material tabs, because the gems are going to only be there past Season 2 or something like that, I think they announced. So Icy Veins actually released an interesting article with a really useful tool, actually named the same thing, to help you keep track of your aspects that you already have in the game. Since you do have a lot, and I have a lot, and if you play a second character, this gets even worse, and you'll probably have a bunch of aspects with a bunch of rolls. Let's say a needle flare with a 20% roll, 25% roll, 30% roll, 40% roll. Like, if you have so many of these, there's an easy way to keep track of them. This seems like it's still a work in progress. It's pretty much open source, so likely this will be iterated upon more, but this definitely helps in keeping you up to date with all of the aspects that you have, since in-game trying to do this is just annoying. And after playing dozens and dozens of hours with my Necromancer and my Druid, if I swap in between them, I forget what aspects each the other one has. I mean, I know by and large what I have, but if I have 2 or 3 of the same type, I don't know where they are. I have to go over each individual one. I have to like kind of arrange them in my bags in a weird way to kind of remember where the position is. It's just a pain, okay? It's just a pain. So this tracker seems to help alleviate some of that pain and make grinding and farming a little bit more straightforward. These are just the cool new things that we know about today. Obviously, with the hype for the live stream of the season 1 is gonna be dope. We're gonna have a lot of coverage on that as well. Plus all the fixes and the tunings in game is very reassuring, considering that I personally have been having a lot of issues streaming the game and also locally recording with all of the glitches as well. Hopefully this doesn't come to pass in any of the videos that we do, but hey, whatever. Listen, like and subscribe. We're gonna be back with a lot more videos for Diablo. Thanks for watching so far, and see you out there slaying some demons.